Hey everybody, it's August 31st, last day of August 2025. It's Sunday evening, and tomorrow most of us in the States have off for Labor Day, and turned out that tonight was the best night on the weekend to go camping. So I'm out here and it's beautiful. It's about 74 degrees maybe, and it's going to get down to maybe mid 40s tonight, so pretty big temperature drop. Not terrible though. So I'm going to try and inflate a brand new sleeping pad, and you haven't seen that, but I've been out just about every weekend, this summer, and of course I don't film every time, but for the last two trips my inflatable air mattress went dead on me. Sort of it deflated overnight. I ended up on the ground. After the first night I took it home and found a leak, and I thought I fixed it and came back, and then apparently I didn't fix it, so we're going to put the new one to the test tonight. And I'm going to make steak and corn and maybe bread. I brought crescent rolls and my cast iron skillet, so I might do that. And I'm just here to relax and have a good time and recharge for the week ahead. So please join me. Well, here's the old mattress. Not really the old mattress. This is the one that I've used the last two times. I had it in storage from a few years ago, and I never liked it because it was just too darn big. I think it's a single size, and I think that's what I replaced it with. I'm just going to lay this down as a way to protect the new one from possibly getting a hole in it. Seems like this particular brand, Walmart, all you have to do is look at it sideways and it gets a hole in it. So here's the new one, which looks to be slightly different than the other one, but I don't know if it's the same brand or not. I kind of hope it's not. Maybe that'll be a good sign. I really didn't want to buy this. I was going to try to fix this a third time, and I still will, but this was only 14 bucks, so I figured screw it. What I really want is to replace my original one. Well, kind of, sort of. I'd like to replace the original one because it's more like a pool toy. It's narrower, and it's only about 4 or 5 inches thick when it's filled up. These things are like 8 or 10 inches thick when they're filled up, and it's wider than I need it to be, and just overall too big. Really not what I need. So just cinches. Well, I think I don't need instructions on how to do this. Let's see here. Here's the inflation valve. Looks the same as this one. Now this has, you can see little rings that attach both sides on the inside. And that's kind of what went wrong with my original one, my old one. You'll see when this inflates up, these little rings, they attach the top and bottom surfaces. But on mine it was so old that on the inside, a couple of these rings, like over on this side, like 3 of them, popped apart on the inside without breaking the outer seal of the whole bed. So it's still inflated, but then you had this big bulging part right here where these weren't attached in the middle anymore. And for most of the summer I kind of slept around that bulge and lived with it. But like I said, we're moving on to bigger and better things. And I would like to get a camping tent, or a sleeping mat that's made with insulation inside of it, more for hiking, more like what you see the hikers take with them, something with an R value. And then I'll get a mat to put underneath that. And I need a better sleeping bag, because I'd really like to go a little bit later in the year this time. Usually I quit around October, and it's just there's no leaves out here, and if it's windy, it usually gets windier, and the wind just howls through everything. It wouldn't be any fun. All right, let's fill this puppy up and see what happens. I bought this a long time ago at Walmart. Oh, the car has to be turned on. stronger than the older one. Hope you can hear me. Okay, let's just test that out. Oh yeah. Oh, this is way better than the last one. I like these indentations. Well, provided it doesn't leak, this should be a good replacement. All right. Hopefully it's stronger material than this older one. Definitely a different maker. Has a similar air vent. Just stretching. Yeah, my other one had a stupid message on the side of it here. It said, it's not leaking. It's not leaking. It's just stretching. Bullshit. It had a hole in it. All right. Well, that pretty much takes care of that. Let's put her in the tent and move on. Okay, here is the new mattress. Just about the same size as the other one. That looks good. Let's get her all set up here. Even with my old mattress, I would put down a blanket, because this has a 0 R value. There's no insulation in it, and basically it's going to be as cold as the ground or as cold as the outside air, even after I start laying on top of it. So if you put down a blanket or two, that'll insulate you from the cold. Otherwise it's just like sleeping on the ground. I've got my little cheapo Walmart light, and this, I still need a Mr. Yuck sticker for the lid on this. This is my pee bottle. I don't have to get out of the tent in the middle of the night. Let's see here. A couple pillows. This is the old fuzzy blanket that I lay down where everything else goes down. Just put the sleeping bags in. Now these are old sleeping bags. They're probably only rated for about as cold as tonight, but they're so old that the insulation's crushed. I'm going to put down the one that still has a zipper that works. That's the one I'll sleep inside of. And then the other one, like I said, the zipper broke on it a long time ago, and I'll just use it as a quilt, and I'll throw it on top of everything else. And that'll be my extra protection for this evening. And I know this works really well because I've been out here when it got really cold. But I would like to have, you can see how thick this mat is. I'd much rather have a thinner mat, a single bag, and then the foam mats that fold up like an accordion, put underneath everything. That would be like my insulation as well as protection against any sharp objects on the ground that might penetrate that. But that's about it. Let's put this up here where I keep it. And throw the pillows in. It's not going to rain tonight, but I always put the rain fly on just to keep the heat in. And I like the idea that if there's a bear out here walking around, sniffing around, it can't necessarily look inside and see me. I've never had a bear come around. Hopefully one never will. I've got bear spray. Okay. Well, let's just snap this on. This is a great tent. I know I've talked about it before, but I wouldn't want to take it out in the winter. It's not a four-season tent, but it was like $80, $60 with a coupon off of Amazon. And I've had it for a couple years now. Holding up good. We just got to put some pegs in. Two in the back, one in the front. It doesn't want to go in. And I bent it. Let's try this one. A little straighter. There we go. Look at that. These are those cheap shepherd's hook. Practically made out of wire. Garbage pegs. But they work. Yeah, I'd like to get a 3-season tent, and maybe I'd use this one, as long as it's not a snowstorm or anything, I'd use this one well into the fall, which is like my plan to do this year. Like I said, if I can get better sleep system to stay warm. But if the weather's bad, you're going to be stuck inside your tent the whole time you're here anyhow, and I don't think that would make for a fun night of camping, being stuck in your tent. So, not so sure winter camping is my kind of thing. Make sure these vents are open. One on the back. I might open up the back here. The back of this folds up. I've shown you that before, but I might do that this evening for something interesting. And I guess that's it for right now. I will bring you back in a little later whenever something interesting happens. Well, I'm all settled in now, and I'm ready to maybe take a little bit of a walk and just see how things look around here, talk a little bit more, and let's have a look around camp. The leaves just aren't out as thick as they should be for this time of year. I feel like we've had a late start. I feel like that I can't imagine, we're at the end of August and the leaf coverage just isn't that thick. I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of acorn production, which could be bad for the little chipmunks, but there's got to be more than they need out here anyhow. There's so many. Let's walk up the hill. Well, let's check the temperature quick. I've had this out of my bag for long enough. It should be acclimated. Hold that in. We're at 72 degrees with a wind speed of about 4 or 5 miles an hour. Not bad. Turn that puppy off. Alright, let's walk up the hill, look down in the quarry. Of course, here's my little game cam. Keeps an eye on camp at night. And if I have to leave everything out here. Down there is the quarry. And we'll walk down in there and have a look at it, but most of the summer it's been full of water. Just a gorgeous day, though. be a good night for sleeping. All right, let's walk down to the quarry. So here we are in the center of the quarry. Just give you a quick look around. Be careful not to fall off this stone seat that I'm standing on. We have a giant fire pit down here. It used to be a lot smaller, and then when I moved away for about 6 years, somebody made it really big. And it's impossible really to see with all the growth around it, but that's one of the seats. That's one of the seats. I'm standing on one of the seats. That's one of the seats. And then in here, big fire pit. We used to actually drive my car down in here, all the way down in here, and park it right there and use it as a power supply. And I had a power inverter, and we'd hook it up to the amplifiers and our effects machines and everything, and play music back here. Had a couple pretty cool nights. So yeah, that's it for the quarry. I'll bring you back in. Next interesting stop. We're almost up to where what I call the driveway to my campsite, where the driveway is, and that would be right here. So the main country road that we came in on goes out that way, and then back here I've got another little sign there to just keep people away, but my campsite's back there. We'll look up out here. Usually a nice view. Spin you around a little bit. I should find a better way to hold this camera. Maybe get one of those handheld gimbal type things. I imagine some of you might be getting sick. I spent a lot of time this summer clearing out this driveway and the dirt country road behind us that I was just talking about. And you can hardly tell that I did anything. It's grown up so fast. But it should be safe enough for at least a full-size truck to get back in here without hitting any branches or having anything hurt their paint job. My friends complained about that a few years ago, and I finally took care of it. And now I'm still waiting for them to come out and visit. Alrighty. Well, I think that's it for now. I think we'll stop here and come back later. Hey everybody, it's a little bit after 10 o'clock and evening went by kind of quick. A buddy of mine showed up, my friend Steve. Haven't seen him for a while, so we had a lot of talking to do. But I had a good meal and everything, and it was a nice evening. And I did do a time lapse of the sunset. We'll see how that turned out here in the end. Everything's going pretty smooth. Just really enjoyed being out. I'm hoping you can hear me. I really need to get a wireless microphone. I'll get that down the road. But I don't have much to say. It's a beautiful night. Let's see what the temperature is. $59 degrees. Oh, maybe that went away too quick. 59 degrees. You can see that. There really isn't much wind at all. It's supposed to get down to mid-40s. So I'm well prepared though. I think I have enough firewood left. There's 2 more pieces over there yet if I really need it. And I still got a little bit of a stack here. I'm parked over here tonight. Wind's coming out of the northeast, kind of like this. Usually I'm up exact opposite of this in the evening lately. Although the last 2 times I think I was able to stay underneath the tarp. But it all depends on which way the wind's going. But I think that's about it for now. I'll bring you back in if anything interesting happens. Otherwise, maybe I'll say goodnight now, and maybe one more time before I hit the sack. But if not, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.